And I'm impressed because I bought this thing pretty much asking 0 questions, which seems less than smart. Welcome back to the Lost Cause Ranch. We are obviously in a little bit different area than normal. People are honking. We just got off our flight to San Diego. We started out in Madison, Wisconsin, went to Phoenix, Arizona, ended up in San Diego, and you're gonna see why here in just a second. Like I said in the last video, we're going to the Land Rover National Rally, and we decided to go ahead and just buy something to take instead of taking something we already own, because we just don't have enough of them. And you know, we put a Facebook message out. Someone responded, well, lots of people responded. Someone in particular that is more unhinged than me.
Welcome back.
Responded with one that he had. And like I said, he is more unhinged than me. So much so that his friends refer to him as crazy. My friends just refer to me as regular Joe. I think you're gonna be able to see what we're getting around the corner here in just a second. I mean, it's not that. What kind of channel do you think this is?
Your way to gate 22, as our aircraft is now fully boarded. We don't want to leave without you.
Hello!
Yes, we got ourselves a P38 and a working one finally. That's something I've never personally had. And as you saw, we got it from none other than Nick. That is Crazy Nick Roshan. You might know him from This Car Pod.
Hello and welcome to This Car Pod. I'm Filippo. I'm Nick.
And this is what once was a free P38 and is quite far from that now. But we're currently in Yuma, Arizona, filling up for the first time, and we'll go over what the heck we're even doing here once we're back into some daylight. But man, is this thing just got a cool look to it. And it made it 150 miles so far, so how do you beat that? So as you guys probably realize, I'm terrible at this YouTube thing and filming on trips. I mean, I'm terrible at filming in general, but I just wanted to hop in here and tell you about one of my favorite things about this whole trip. And it was sitting in the airport waiting to fly out to San Diego. I was doing my Friday routine, listening to a little This Car Pod podcast, and this popped up.
I don't like to jinx a deal before it's done. So
Especially on a P38 Range Rover. That deal's not done until like 6 weeks after the car is gone.
The wire hit yesterday, so I think that one's wrapped up.
Whoa.
We haven't signed any paperwork yet, but he did book a flight and send money.
It's sold for wire money,
not cash money.
P38, and honestly, that deal could fall apart. I'm not kidding, up to a month after the transaction. Like that, what if the car kills him?
So I guess send the title to his widow or something.
That alone was worth the purchase, even before the trip starts off, especially since tonight starts the 30-day Doug DeMuro death clock. He doesn't think I'm gonna make it. I don't have any idea why he would have zero trust in this vehicle. Well, we just arrived to make our first shopping stop. It's a real shame they don't have a Menards around here. All right, so we got a few camping supplies. We'll grab our tools at a Harbor Freight in Flagstaff, hopefully. We made it to Phoenix last night, and we're about 300 miles in, and it has been flawless. I mean, who would have thought a 30 or nearly 30-year-old Land Rover of the P38 Range Rover variety would be anything but that. I mean, we could even do some fine dining back here. So man, what exactly did we just get ourselves into? So we flew out to San Diego, and we obviously met up with Crazy Nick from the This Car Pod podcast. And if you're familiar with his YouTube channel or the Cars and Bids podcast, you may be familiar with this. This is the free P38. Or I guess you could say what started out as a free P38. It's far from free for Nick. We'll get to that a little bit later in the video, but this is what we decided to fly out from Iowa to San Diego to take to the Land Rover National Rally. And does it get any better than a working Range Rover P38, especially one with a 2-inch lift, 33-inch tires, one of my favorite factory grill guards that came on Land Rovers, some hella cool off-road lights. But this is what we are attempting to take on our little Land Rover National Rally trip. This needs to make it 900 plus miles from San Diego to Ouray, Colorado, and then spend a week out in the mountains. And then after that, it needs to make it 1,200 miles back to Iowa. So we're gonna see close to 2,500 miles on this thing in just a week period, with a fair amount of those being off-road. And speaking of off-road, we just took a cool little gravel road detour to Cleator, Arizona. Ted went out here last year, and this just looks like the coolest little place. Unfortunately, it's not open right now, but where else do you get a freaking pirate ship in the desert? You know, all I can think of at this exact moment in time is how freaking awesome life is. Who gets to do this? Who gets to fly halfway across the country, go pick up a Range Rover that you just needed to have and explore with it? Be out here in the desert and just have a blast, see the world. And then we're gonna go meet up with a bunch of good friends here later tonight or tomorrow. And as one of those friends once told me, this doesn't suck. Well, let's get back on the road. We got about 500 miles left to get to Ouray. It is obviously a Range Rover P38, so it's got issues. And one of those issues is no heat. The heater core is bypassed. Not a problem right now. The other issue is, it also has no air conditioning. It's got the blend door motors messed up, so the dash needs to come apart. But no air conditioning is a little brutal right now. It is like 113 degrees. And if you're not familiar with Fahrenheit, it's warm. It's a lot in Celsius as well. So we need to blast north, get a little higher in elevation, and get out of this sweltering heat, because I'm making a mess of these seats. But man, this thing has made it nearly 400 miles already without skipping a beat. All right, if we can't find a Menards, we go with the next best choice. And of course, that's Harbor Freight for quality tools at the lowest prices. But no, we're gonna see what else we can scrounge up for the rest of our journey. We just made it to Flagstaff. I think we got like 500 miles into this thing. Quite nice when someone else spends thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars refurbishing something for me to buy. The best combo is obviously a bunch of rain and no HVAC. Windows gotta go up, no air moving, but hey, we just left Flagstaff, Arizona, and I think we got like 380 miles left, so we're almost there. Now that we hit 500 miles, the Nicky Lube warranty has expired. And here, I thought the warranty expired as soon as I sent the money.
The wire hit yesterday, so I think that one's wrapped up.
Whoa.
We haven't signed any paperwork yet, but he did book a flight and send money.
It's
so
sold for
It's a
wire money?
P38.
not cash money. Yeah, well, I mean, it was slightly above the Venmo limits, but like could have been done Venmo.
Yeah, there you go.
Such a nice guy. I forgot to mention it, but we added a ratchet and socket set from Harbor Freight, along with some zip ties and some gloves. I didn't get any recovery gear, because as you saw, there is some fine stuff on the roof of this thing, including a shovel to dig myself out of the hole I probably dug myself in. And then we didn't need a recovery strap, because I talked to Justin ahead of time and he threw one in his truck. So once we get there, I'll grab that from him. Just look at how prepared I am. Well, we were close. I thought we were going to make it without incident, but just about 100 miles out, our dome light fell down. It's a crying shame. So here we are finally rolling. So here we are rolling into the town of Ouray. This is my first time in the area, and man, are the people here lucky. I can't believe I haven't been here before. I've been close, but never here, and this is just a little gem of a town. And what better way to spend it than in a P38? Life doesn't get any better than this. So I rolled in the day before the rally started, and I had a couple of buddies that were camping north of town, maybe it's south of town, above town, somewhere not in town. So we went up the hill, and man, they had a cool little site.
Joe's here.
And then we went down to registration, and watching everything roll in was awesome. There's nothing cooler than Land Rovers towing Land Rovers, you guys know that. And we met up with Justin.
Definitely not going to need that. Not a chance.
That's all right, because we had an equally as nice one included.
Is this for your Power Wheels? Same,
but different.
Same.
Yeah.
They're both orange. When you use this, I want to film, okay?
All right, so we just aired down. It is the first day of trails, and there's nothing that beats kind of like how excited everyone is when it's that first time that we all split off to go out and do our little separate trails. There is like 140 vehicles here today, so I think there's 12 groups going out. We're following that guy. You know, there's just something to be said about taking your P38 that you picked up 2 days ago and taking it on some fun mountain roads where the consequences seem kind of severe. I mean, maybe Doug was right that I wouldn't make it past the 30-day mark.
Like that, what if the car kills him?
But no, this thing's been great, and there's just something about these type of trips. It's not hardcore wheeling today. It's a good group of rovers, and we're using the vehicles to take us places that you just don't get to see all the time. And for some reason, I still live in Iowa. Dog vlog. How to grab that.
Another Jeep, a Bronco, and another Jeep.
You wouldn't even believe it.
That's pretty good there.
All right, so I believe we found the issue of the missing air, possibly. Not quite sure yet. Seems perfect. You know, it's sure a good thing Nick threw in the factory wheels before we took off. This would have been a little bit less of a fun situation had we not had a spare at all.
Man, that door is quick.
The last one. So we got the mobile office out this morning doing a little work, uploading a video. And as I'm doing that, I discovered one person's workstation is slightly better. I need to get my life together. So it is now the morning of day 2. Unfortunately, I broke the P38. Well, I didn't break the P38. I broke a P38 tire. And being we got to get back to Iowa, I decided to just throw the stock wheels back on and try and be responsible Joe for once. I know, boring, but consolation prize. We're hopping in a certain Defender Octa. But more about that in just a bit. My favorite thing about this stuff is just look at the variety that it pulls out. I mean, who isn't a sucker for a G4? Followed by a trophy. Back there, Camel. We got what appears to be an NAS 90. Little Icarus top. Over here, more. A D5 even. You don't get to see D5s out on the trails too often, and there's a couple of them here. Just cruise down and check out what shows up at these things. It is just incredible. I mean, come on, that makes 3 D5s at least. And of course, another hero. Gentleman with P38, which actually looks capable. But no, this is just cool as all get out, seeing everything out here. There's not many opportunities you get to see all this in one place. Ike and Jenny even made the trip. And if you want a fun group to be on the trail with, probably line up behind that one. This doesn't look like a bad group either. You want them at 0, right? So we're just over here using Case's stuff to air down the Octa because he was just airing down their Octa. So now we're gonna help Justin get up to this little rock, pilgrimage. I don't even know what the name of it is. I'm not good at that. And obviously, you know, I'm perfectly fine with heights. Perfectly fine with it. It's not even that big a fall. Justin had it before. We're gonna bring you like 2 feet. Let's do there. Because you're up.
You have to say where he was, right?
Yep, you're like 10 knots below he was. So we currently have 26 days left to live according to the Doug DeMuro death clock with the P38. And being we have plenty of time left, we are kind of taking some chances. We kind of guided Justin in the Octa up here. And if we look, we're way down there, but we still got 26 days left. We're fine. All right, so we are gonna do a little competition, friendly competition between Octas. And that competition is who can air up the fastest. And we have 2 different methods, 2 different teams. Stay tuned. Why are the holes so small?
Wrong way, you dummy! Oh, there, come on! Oh, jeez! Oh, get fucking knots! Oh, you're so bad at this! I thought you gave me the required equipment. I just said that. You're fine. Come on. I pick this up. I pick this up.
Yeah.
Is it on?
36.
Yeah, it's on.
The heat already bumped it.
It's open.
Yep.
Nice. Yeah. Beautiful. Windy. And then it says high pressure stuff. If I just pop the front off and leave the back.
I think so. Wicked.
Dude, it's mental.
Cap on. Cap's on.
I don't know.
I'm over on that one, but you're good.
I don't know what kind of aircraft.
All right,
I don't know what
tools
kind of
back.
aircraft grade compressor that.
Do we need to put the tools back?
Yes.
Or can we just take the win?
Are you done?
Yeah, we're done.
On all four?
Would you like to check them on all four?
Do you want to use? No, man. That's crazy. Guys,
That's how you do it. So we have determined the single tire at a time method is the correct method.
Yeah, if you've got, what do you got, like a can of nitrogen back there, dude?
We have a ARB twin brushless, and they are mental good.
That's crazy.
They really are good.
What do you say? It's shop level air.
It's close to line pressure.
And where can you get a ARB?
I'm not doing it.
And we got back to the main tent, and even the wildlife wanted to come check out all the Land Rovers.
Oh, rough shape. Oh, this end's good. Oh dear, you know we ordered them special.
But judging by this, I think he's a local.
He works here. He knows what they do.
And Justin had to leave us a couple days early, so we got to watch this, which I was curious on how the Octa fit in an enclosed car trailer. And I mean, it kind of fits into an enclosed car trailer.
I gotta go into high mode. Oh yeah, to clear this stuff. I got no, put the tires between. I got you.
Yeah, because it'll suck them in.
Nice. Put it in low mode so the back doesn't hit. You see where they were sitting, the marks on the wood?
And then shortly after that, we had a freaking monsoon. So we are here morning of day 4, maybe it's 5. I lost track of time. Being we flew out last week, had a little whirlwind trip with this guy, but it is ghost town down here at the main meeting spot. Normally in the morning, we would have 120 rigs or so sitting down here lined up, ready to go out on the trails. But if you take a look at what happened last night, we had a little bit of a rainstorm. I caught some of it. Some of the guys out on the trails caught a little bit more of it. And the roads are kind of all shut down because of mudslides and whatnot around here. So if you can't get out of here, it's hard to get to the trails. But look at the old P38 sitting in stock mode, but it's still kicking. Doing better than the one tire. But no, it's doing fantastic. Took it into Ridgeway last night to have some tacos, and it's just not missing a beat. Couldn't be happier. Currently, I think we have like 24 days left on the Doug DeMuro death clock. There's been some stuff thrown at us. We almost went off a cliff, tire blown. The roads are collapsing with the torrential downpour. Curious to see what today has in store. The good news is, even with everything canceled, we were able to get a little demo from Bill Burke of the Camel Trophy lore. And then we were able to go hang out downtown, visit some of the local shops, eat some food, look at some cool rigs, including Gulf Coast Rovers' new Range Rover. Cool bumper setup. And then we met the motorcycle version of me. That's a guy after my own heart.
But they're just harder to find, and that's actually a pretty good shape. I mean, some of them. I mean, it's been beat up in the military service, but
The water's finally kind of settled down around here, but it is still a mess. We got debris
Piled up against all the bridges. All the roads are pretty tore up.
like you can see over here behind the P38. It's just kind of all washed out in our little entrance to our campground.
So I can't imagine what it looks like in low places and up on the mountains. And some of the roads up there are fairly soft, so I'm sure there's a lot of damage. And it's the last day of trails, or pretty much the last day of the rally. So I'm not exactly sure what's gonna happen today. I'm guessing around here, most everything's gonna be closed, but I'll let you know in a minute. So it's all sorted out now, and we're just doing a little improvised trail day. There's only essentially 2 main trails open, Imogene and Yankee Boy. So we're just splitting off, spacing out.
But it's still gonna be a fun day. Any day out here is a fun day. Today we're hopping in with Stacy here in the D2, and we're gonna help him kind of trail lead.
Which is scary because if you know me and the way my life functions, me leading anything is not good. So I wish everyone else luck.
But man, what a cool lineup of Rovers here. There's a ton of people that still stuck it out after all the rain and road closures and are still here to have a little bit of fun. Even a trophy defender. But one of my favorites is this classic right there. Just cool look.
For the women's run.
You guys okay? You guys okay? Yep. Yo, bro. What's up, buddy? You will not believe what we're doing out here. We are in one of the most gorgeous places I've ever been. Got a little bit of a lake, maybe it's a pond, I don't know the size difference. Clarify.
Lake or pond, Joe's hand for scale. But no, we're just up at the end of Yankee Boy out here. Nice little small group that we're traveling with today. But the more amazing thing is we're out of service, but one of the gentlemen has a Starlink, which means we're up here bidding on a certain 130. You know, just what we need. Well, we just got outbid. We can't be having that. How about no? Would you believe it? You can be a Land Rover hoarder in the middle of the mountains. What a world. I was expecting that. So it's Saturday morning and everyone's packing up and leaving, and we made the week of the National Rally fairly unscathed. I mean, we have a different set of wheels in the back than we started with, and we have a different set on the truck, but that's okay. Fairly unscathed. But yeah, the off-road portion was fun. It was great with all the people, and now we have 1,200-ish miles to make it back to Iowa. I'm pretty confident at this point. The thing has been solid. Way more solid than anyone would expect a sight unseen Range Rover P38. Any more a good Range Rover P38 is questionable at best, but this thing has been fantastic. So we're gonna hit the road, and it'll probably be a bit of an adventure. So we're starting to make it through some of the passes in Colorado. We're headed from Ouray to Gunnison. And this is the fun part of owning a Rover V8 powered vehicle. It gets quite a bit slower at elevation. We are currently following the perfect thing to go through the mountains behind. That's a 5th gen 4Runner because they are equally underpowered. We're starting to get high enough to run out of oxygen for the trees. We definitely have already gotten high enough to run out of oxygen for the P38. It's wheezing. So we got Buffalo Bill here chasing down a buffalo, obviously, as you do. But you know, owning a bunch of old Land Rovers is kind of this perspective. Yes, just staring down the barrel. It's been a long day of driving. We just went through the night and we turned over 180,000 miles. We're also back in Iowa. The sun is coming up. And I haven't even had to check in with you because it's been a pretty boring trip. The P38 has just worked. There is some beeps, boops, and buzzes, but in the grand scheme of things, we can handle that. So I guess let's hope our last 100 miles of this journey goes the same. And when you look at that, we made it. And we even made it back to catch the demo derby at the local county fair, along with the races at night. Stuff the porta potty is quite the cultural change from the previous week. So I guess in the whirlwind of the week, I never did actually go over what Nick included with the P38. He actually set us up pretty well. It was a set up for success, as one might say, and it worked because we made it back to the car wash, obviously, because it's here. Even made it under its own power, which is quite the feat with a P38. And we'll go over my thoughts and future plans with this thing in just a moment. And when Nick packed this thing together, it was much neater than the way I packed it to get home. He's obviously a much more organized person than myself, which is probably why he also has a Mercedes McLaren SLR
and I just have a bunch of old Land Rovers. But that's neither here nor there. Let's get everything out of here. We have some sort of travel bag. This is the stuff I bought. Brought a plate in case we didn't have one. Strap for when we got stuck, but we never did because the P-38's unstoppable. I mean, semi-unstoppable. That never works out well. We also have the factory steering wheel because this was upgraded to the wood version. I mean, that does look pretty nice in there. Now over here is what I was really impressed with, and that is our tote full of extra parts. And I'm impressed because I bought this thing pretty much asking 0 questions, which seems less than smart. He didn't have to include anything because I didn't ask for anything. Come to think of it, I didn't even ask for a picture of it before I sent him the money. I'm a little bit reckless, I guess. But right here was the really nice bonus for when you're traveling with an old Land Rover. He threw a few gallons of coolant in. There was a quart of oil that I used, some bags, a collapsible funnel, that strap I mentioned earlier. Even though it may not be the best, it's better than nothing. We have some batteries, some bulbs, hose clamps, extra bits, some ratchet straps, some zip ties, all important. I don't know if oh, that's mine. This is mine. We also got a little car. How cool is that? That can go with some of my other little cars. So besides some snacks and whatnot, the only stuff we ended up having to buy is right here. We had Justin bring us the strap. We bought a little camp pillow, sleeping bag, cooler, tire plug kit, all at Walmart. Bought some gloves and a socket set at the old Harbor Freight, just in case we needed something, but we didn't need anything. I mean, the plugs may have come in handy. Had our gash been a little bit smaller. But speaking of gash, this is the single downfall that the P-38 had, and I was kind of expecting it. So I knew a little bit of the history on these tires, so going in, I was questionable, with good reason apparently. But these do have some age on it, which is fine for a set of used tires. I'm not too worried about it. We're gonna replace them with something new and fresh. Let's check a date code. So the one tire is from 17. I think this is the newest one. That's a mismatch, but 9 years old is fairly old in the tire world. And these 3 are from 2014. And this is much more prone to happen on an old tire. The rubber just loses flexibility and everything. I don't think we would have cut it down with a fresh or recent tire. But is what it is, doesn't matter because he threw in the stock ones and we made it home. But what makes these even better is, I believe these are not tires, they are llantas. I believe that's close to how you say it in Spanish, at least some Iowa boy saying it in Spanish. If I remember correctly, Nick, correct me if I'm wrong, these came from Mexico or somewhere near there, which is a choice that was made. But no, to tell you the truth, if I lived in San Diego and I was that close to Mexico, I'd probably do some fun stuff like that as well. We just don't have that option up here in Iowa. Oh, I did forget one thing. He also included this, which is a freaking bookload of receipts, which makes this free P-38 far from it, very far from it. I don't know if he ever disclosed how much he stuck into it, but it was a substantial amount, which is how you handle having a P-38. But man, I could not be happier with the purchase and the trip. This is the first P-38 that I have owned that I've been able to drive. All my other P-38s have ended up just like the yellow one. Never even drove them. So the experience has been fantastic, and I can't wait to play around with it some more. This is probably not a forever car. I have enough stuff laying around, so I think we're gonna sort out some of this stuff, and we'll probably end up throwing this back on Cars at Bids after I'm done with it and I get my enjoyment. We just have a few things to take care of. Mainly the big one, as I mentioned earlier, is the heater core and air conditioning situation. So the dash will come out. We'll have a video on that in the future. We may do something different with this. It's got a wolf box mirror. That's kind of cool. We'll get a fresh set of 33s on it and the other wheels back on it because it looks much cooler with the 16s. And we may even try and track down a 5th 16 and put that hanging off the back here. Maybe a little different roof rack setup. But overall, I just want to take what Nick started with and just kind of tweak it a little bit, perfect it. Nothing majorly different. I really do like this front grille setup. Let me know, maybe we should add a winch. Winches always help. We may do something fun with the VVOR recovery gear and do a little test. I'm curious. how that stuff works. That'll probably come off there. We'll do something fun with it, and we'll replace that stuff with something else in the future. But for now, we're just gonna get it cleaned up, drive it, enjoy it, and you guys will catch this on some future episodes. As we finish out this project, we're gonna take Nick's vision and just get it over that finish line, and then you guys will probably have the opportunity to get yourself a nice, well-sorted P38. With that being said, appreciate you guys watching, appreciate you subscribing, and we will catch you on the next one. Maybe some LR4 truck stuff, maybe something else. I don't know. I'm frickin' exhausted. And if we check the clock, I think we got like 18 or 19 days left to live, according to the Doug DeMuro death clock. We'll try and make it fun.